So, for the Q3 project, the critical path analysis shows a dependency on the upstream API integration. We'll need to synergize our cross-functional teams to de-risk the deployment pipeline by EOD Friday. If we don't, the stakeholder-facing KPI metrics are going to be completely skewed, which will impact the annual review cycle. Is that clear?
Sorry?
Oh, right. Sorry, I did that thing again, didn't I? Information overload.
Yeah, just a little bit. I think I caught Friday, and that was about it.
Right, my fault entirely. Let's try that again. But actually, you know what? This is a really good example of a common problem.
Feeling completely lost?
Exactly. It makes you think, what do you actually say in English when you don't understand, when your brain just goes blank like that?
Well, my usual response is what you just heard, a very weak sorry, or sometimes just what? And then I just feel this wave of panic.
I think everyone knows that feeling. It's like a spotlight is suddenly on you and you've failed the test.
Yeah, exactly. You feel like you've let them down, and now they think your English is terrible.
Right, but it's usually not about your English level, it's about the way the information was delivered. So in that work situation, instead of a panicked sorry, what's a slightly better way to handle it?
I guess I could ask, can you repeat that?
That's a good start, definitely. To make it a little softer, a little more polite, you could say, "Sorry, could you say that again?" Simple, direct, and polite.
Right. Sorry, could you say that again? That's not too difficult.
But what if it wasn't just the words, but the speed? I was speaking very fast.
That's often the problem for me. My brain is trying to process the first sentence while they're already on a third.
In that case, be specific. It's really helpful for the other person. You could say, "Sorry, I didn't catch that. Could you say that a bit more slowly?"
Oh, I like that. I didn't catch that. It sounds so much more natural than saying, I don't understand.
It frames the problem as a physical one. You didn't catch it, like a ball. It's not a criticism of your language skills. It's just a thing that happened.
That takes the pressure off a bit.
Exactly. Now let's think of another nightmare scenario, a difficult phone call.
The worst, especially when a connection is bad.
Right? A crackly line, you can only hear every other word. What do you do then?
Honestly, I often just guess. I say and yes, and hope I haven't just agreed to sell my house.
A dangerous game, Oliver. A very dangerous game. So what could you say instead?
Something about the line being bad?
Yep, you can preface it with that. "Sorry, the line's breaking up a bit. I didn't get that last part." Or a really simple all-purpose phrase is, "Sorry, I'm not sure I got that."
I'm not sure I got that. It does feel gentler than saying I didn't understand.
It is. It shows you were trying, but something just quite didn't land. It invites them to rephrase or repeat without making it feel like an accusation. Okay, new scene. You're in a busy, noisy cafe. The coffee machine is hissing, people are shouting. You're trying to order something.
This is my daily life.
The barista asks you something you don't understand. It's loud, they have a strong accent maybe. You think you understood the words, but the meaning is fuzzy.
And I say yes and end up with the beetroot latte.
Exactly. This is where you need a checking question. It's a superpower.
A checking question.
You repeat back what you think you heard to confirm it. For example, "Sorry, do you mean you're out of almond milk?" Or, "So you're asking if I want sprinkles on that?"
So I'm not just asking them to repeat the same confusing question. I'm offering a possible answer.
Precisely. And an even more powerful phrase, one that sounds incredibly competent, is, "Let me just check I understood."
Let me check I understood. It sounds very professional. You could use that in a work meeting too.
Absolutely. "Let me check I understood. Do you want me to finish this by Friday?" It clarifies everything and makes you look incredibly diligent and attentive.
It's funny. All these phrases, they seem so simple. But in the moment, my mind goes blank, and all I can think is, they think I'm stupid.
I get that. But here's the absolute key to it all. The most important thing to remember: asking for clarification is not a weakness.
It really feels like one.
I know, but think about it. Native speakers ask for clarification constantly, all the time.
Do you?
Absolutely. I'll say, sorry, what was that? Or, I'm not with you. Or, run that by me again, multiple times a day. People mumble, they talk too fast, they use acronyms I don't know. There's a loud noise outside. It's normal.
Suppose I just assume native speakers have a magic ability to understand everything.
Not at all. The difference is we don't attach any shame to it. Asking someone to repeat something isn't a sign of bad English. It's a sign of good communication. It proves you're listening and that you care enough to want to understand them properly.
A sign of good communication. Never thought of it that way before. That actually helps a lot.
Real confidence isn't about knowing every word. It's about having the tools to navigate the moments when you don't. And these phrases, these are your tools. All right, you've got the tools. Let's test them. A friend is telling you a really complicated story at a party. It's noisy.
Okay, I'm ready.
They say, so I saw Mark from accounts, and he said that Jane told him that the thing we were discussing last Tuesday with Chloe is now happening on Thursday, but at the other venue. You know the one.
Oh, okay. Old me would have just smiled and nodded.
And new confident Oliver.
New Oliver would say, hang on, sorry, I didn't quite catch all of that. Could you say that again a bit more slowly? Who did you see at the start?
Brilliant. See, you took control. You isolated the part you missed. You didn't just give up.
Feels much better, actually. Less passive.
Exactly. Okay, final boss level. I'm an IT person on the phone telling you how to fix your computer. I say, okay, first you'll need to defragment the primary hard drive by accessing the BIOS on startup, but be careful not to overwrite the boot sector configuration. Go.
Right, okay. Let me just check I understood the first part. Do you mean I need to restart the computer and press a special key?
Yes, perfect. You ignored the jargon, you focused on the very first actionable step, and you asked for clarification in simple terms. You've completely managed the conversation.
And I actually feel like I could solve the problem now.
That's the entire point. You're not stopping the conversation, you're guiding it so you can stay part of it. Though, when you really think about it, the goal isn't to achieve some mythical state of perfect English where you understand 100% of everything all the time.
Right, it's more about being prepared for the real world where conversations are messy and imperfect.
Exactly. It's about having those phrases ready, those tools in your pocket, so you know what to do when you inevitably miss something. That's what true communication is.
It's the secret to actually feeling fluent, isn't it? Not just knowing the grammar, but being able to handle a real chat with a real person. That's it, right there. It's all about keeping the conversation moving forward with confidence. So, if you want to learn how to handle more of these real English conversations and feel more confident doing it, then make sure you subscribe to Speak Through It English. We'd love to have you. See you in the next one.